Friends First cross-country steeplechase for the Touche Cup, and red-hot favourite Cantlow at 6-4 on, who finished third to Cause of Causes at the Cheltenham Festival last time. Love Rory, stable companion at 5-1-7 for Matata Supreme. Old First Lieutenant at 8 with Throw Ella. 20-1 Ruben Cotter, and Buddy Bolero and Fergie the Legend is the 66-1 outsider of the party. But Cantlow probably deserving of his short price favourite tag here. Kevin Blake alongside me. Kevin, we've, I suppose, spoken at length about this race already. It's not as strong a renewal as you might expect, and Cantlow, can he afford to even run a little bit below his best and win, do you think?
He probably can. You know, this isn't a super renewal of the Touche, to be fair, and this horse has been getting the hang of the Banks course. He's only had 3 spins over it. He won there earlier this season, and he's been second twice, including in this race, to quantitative easing last year. You know, that proved his stamina and everything else. He comes into this off the back of a good run at Cheltenham, third to Cause of Causes, beaten about 10 lengths. That sets the standard. If he runs to anything like that, he's probably going to go and win. I'd make a case for Matata Supreme against him. He's had 5 runs over the Banks and won one of them, beating quantitative easing, and that was over 3 miles last year. And he comes into this off the back of a good run in a conventional handicap chase last time, so I'd be hopeful he could shake up Cantlow, but the Fav will be hard to beat, I think.
Yes, Cantlow, the mount of Mark Walsh, who won our last on Don't Touch It, looking for a quick double here on board this horse, who seems to have, like so many before him, really been rejuvenated by the switch to cross-country stroke Banks racing. Number 4 and shot there is Ruben Cotter, and there's First Lieutenant, who's seen and done pretty much everything at this stage. 12 years of age, ran in the Irish National the other day, turns out again quickly here. JJ Slevin rides him today, and an 8-1 shot here. I suppose the fact that he's 8-1, given his poor recent form, Kevin, emphasises that it is a substandard edition. Yeah,
look, he's been a fantastic horse for his connections. He was as high as 170 at one stage, one of the best staying chasers in the country, but he has been out of form for a little while. He raced over Banks back in February and he was well beaten, so he didn't look a natural, you'd have to say, on that occasion, so he'll need to have improved quite a bit with his jumping over these unique obstacles since then if he's to make any sort of an impact. But even if he jumps a bit better, it'll be hard to know if he's in good enough fettle really to get competitive in any race.
And the Bulger in discussion with his jockeys there, Mark Walsh and Donny McInerney. He's looking for his 14th win in this race, would you believe? All started back in the 90s, 20 years ago in fact, when Risk of Thunder won his first under the trainer. And some real star performers have landed the spoils in the interim. Risk of Thunder won it no less than 7 times. Spot the Difference won it a couple of times as well. Guard Champetre, another one who's on the Roll of Honour, and more recently Lamy and Quantitative Easing. So some real legends of this particular discipline on the Roll of Honour. Cantlow not at that sort of level, at least not yet, but he's a good tough horse and seems to enjoy these obstacles, and one would imagine he's going to be pretty tough to topple here. Big crowd goes out onto the track to watch them jumping some of these Banks obstacles, and I think our own Mick Fitzgerald is amongst them.
I certainly am. I'm on here on Ruby's double, and you can see it is actually a fair old pop down there. I've actually jumped this in the race as well on a horse called Cananis Moore that was trained by Nicky Henderson, and it really is, it's a thrill like no other. For people like Jamie Codd, Enda Bulger, Nina Carberry, they do this in their sleep, but for lads like me, this is something that you really, really enjoy. And just to give you an idea of how special it is, just have a little look at the crowd. All of these people want to get a little bit close to the action. They're all waving. Come on, give us a wave. You know, this is what it means to these people to be able to see these horses. It's a real shame that the ground has dried and we only have a few runners, but we will still have a belter of a race.
Yes, and the runners are just on the way out of the parade ring. There's the rank outsider Fergie the Legend. A 50-1 shot here, obviously much bigger, as you can see on the exchanges there. First Lieutenant The last one to go down. Who will be the first one back? We'll find out very shortly indeed in the 2017 edition of the Touche Cup. That said, he still managed to win a couple of races. And Scal once again going to call them home for us. Let's get up to the commentary box then for the 2017 running of the Friends First cross-country chase for the Touche Cup.
White flag is raised, and they're off. And Troel on the inside disputes the lead in the early stages with alongside First Lieutenant. Just moving up on their outside is Love Rory as they go out over the first fence, and now on to numbers 2 and 3, which will be the Galway double. And disputing the lead now, Love Rory on the outside of First Lieutenant, Troella on the inside. And Tada Supreme is next with Cantlow, and towards the inside is Reuben Carter as they come on now towards number 3. In the lead on the inside now, Love Rory showing in front, Troel on the outside of First Lieutenant, and Tada Supreme and Cantlow, Fergie the Legend and Buddy Bolero, and on the inside Reuben Carter. As they clear the next, the leader is Love Rory, moving on a couple of lengths in front for Donald McInerney. To in second place on the outside, Troel and Barry Cash, with First Lieutenant JJ Slevin, followed by Entada Supreme. Then comes Cantlow and Fergie the Legend, with Buddy Bolero, and the back of the field in the early stages, Reuben Carter. So they come now to the Ruby double, right in front of the stands, and Troella moves up on the inside now as they move on to Joe's Jump. And over in front it is Love Rory, Troella on the inside, and Tada Supreme is followed by First Lieutenant, and then comes Cantlow just in behind as they make their way on now towards the next bank. Disputing the lead, Love Rory with Troella on the inside and Tada Supreme. They're followed by First Lieutenant, close up fifth is Cantlow, and then a break of a few lengths to Buddy Bolero, and on the inside Reuben Carter. Fergie the Legend, the back markers, they head now for number 9, which will be the Birch Barrels, and the leader is Love Rory and Tada Supreme, Troella, First Lieutenant, the quartet followed by Cantlow. And then comes Buddy Bolero, with after Buddy Bolero Reuben Carter, and Fergie the Legend is the back marker. So coming on now to number 9, and Love Rory in front, and Tada Supreme is second. Followed in third place First Lieutenant, Troella is next, and then comes Cantlow as they clear this one, and now make their way to number 10, the Friends First Stonewall. Little change up front, Love Rory from Tada Supreme being followed by Troella, and then First Lieutenant just ahead of Cantlow. Bit of a break then to Buddy Bolero, and then comes Reuben Cotter, and the back marker is Fergie the Legend. So they're making their way now back towards the stands, and the next one they jump will be Joe's Jump for the second time, and then face up to Ruby's double second time. So over this one, Love Rory leads him, Tada Supreme. Cantlow's moved into third on the outside of First Lieutenant. Troella is next, racing away from Ruby's double, and now beginning to head off out into the country. Number 13 is a Laurel Hedge that will be followed by 2 Drop Banks, and Love Rory and Donald McInerney lead, and Tada Supreme, Benny Walsh second, then Cantlow and Mark Walsh. Troella is racing next for Barry Cash towards the inside of First Lieutenant JJ Slevin. Buddy Bolero and Luke Dempsey come next ahead of Reuben Cotter and Andrew Lynch, with Fergie the Legend and Conor Maxwell the back marker. So they go now to 14, a Drop Bank, and Love Rory continues to go along in the lead from Tada Supreme. Cantlow is racing next ahead of Troella and First Lieutenant. Buddy Bolero is next, and the final pair remain Reuben Cotter and Fergie the Legend. So they're at the next bank now, taking them on the way from the stands, taking them up towards number 15, Love Rory, Tada Supreme, Cantlow, First Lieutenant and Troella, as they continue on their way now to race right away over to the far corner of the track. And over that bank, little to choose between, Tada Supreme, who's made a bit of headway, up now on the inside to join Love Rory, with tracking them Cantlow and there, followed by First Lieutenant, as they go now to 18, which will be the Cheltenham Bank. And racing now over that one, disputing the lead, still Love Rory with Imtada Supreme. They're followed by Cantlow with Trowella and First Lieutenant, and these five have moved on a bit from the other three as they continue on now to the next Laurel Drop Bank. And Love Rory, Donald McInerney from Imtada Supreme, Benny Walsh followed by Cantlow, the odds-on favourite, second in the race last year, being followed then by Trowella, who was second in the opening race of the festival here on Tuesday, and then the old veteran First Lieutenant in fifth, and they're clear of Buddy Bolero, followed then by Reuben Cotter and Fergie the Legend. So they're making their way now, on the way, coming up now towards the big double. And in the lead, it is Love Rory, Imtada Supreme, followed by Cantlow on the inside. They're followed by Trowella, who's fourth, and First Lieutenant. These five are cleared of Buddy Bolero as they go away from that one and now head to a drop bank, and now they'll be heading for the Risk of Thunder fence. So in the lead as they come to this one is Love Rory, who's showing in front, opening up a couple of lengths lead now. Over in second place is Imtada Supreme, and just behind them Cantlow with Trowella and First Lieutenant clear of Buddy Bolero, who's followed by Reuben Cotter, and a long, long way behind Fergie the Legend. So they're coming now to make the swing to take them across towards number 25, which will be a Laurel Bank just before the canal turn, as they continue well on their way, 2/3 of the way in the Latouche. And Love Rory, Donald McInerney going along a four-length leader to Imtada Supreme. First Lieutenant moves up to join Cantlow, and they've gone a few lengths in front of Trowella, and then a further break to Reuben Cotter. So they're continuing now right over on the far side to shortly now make the canal turn and swing left, sharp left, to come back towards the stands. And it's Love Rory who's over in front and almost joined by First Lieutenant, who's belying his years running a big race right up there, the veteran, with Imtada Supreme behind them. Cantlow is fourth, and then comes Trowella as they make their way now back towards the stands, heading now towards the final mile, and it is Love Rory in the lead from Imtada Supreme and First Lieutenant. Cantlow is fourth, then Trowella and a break to Reuben Cotter. So they're coming now towards the next Laurel Hedge, and in front as they clear this one is still Love Rory from Imtada Supreme, First Lieutenant, Cantlow, Trowella. Bit of a break then to Reuben Cotter, who's trying to make ground towards them as they come now to the Laurel Hedge before Ruby's Double for the final time. The leading quartet tightly grouped up, racing now towards Ruby's Double the final time, and First Lieutenant comes to join Love Rory. Imtada Supreme, Cantlow is right there with him, and on the inside Trowella. Now they race towards Joe's Jump the final time. Now they've just got three left, and there's little to choose between. On the inside, Trowella, who's made ground now to join Love Rory and Imtada Supreme, with Cantlow just in behind, and Imtada Supreme went out through the wing there. And now Trowella on the outside of Love Rory. The pair are being tracked 2 lengths back by Cantlow in third. They appear to have shaken off First Lieutenant as they swing now and race back towards the racecourse proper. And it is Love Rory in the lead from Cantlow on the inside. First Lieutenant trying to make ground, and Trowella again on the outside. Now over the final point-to-point fence and back on the track proper. One to jump in the Latouche, and Cantlow has got the inside berth now for Mark Walsh from Trowella. On the outside, Barry Cash. They're coming down to the final fence in the Latouche. Cantlow on the inside and Trowella on the stem side. They're going to rise absolutely together at the last, the 35th and final fence. And it's Cantlow pressed by Trowella. After 4 miles, it's a ding-dong battle for the Latouche. Up towards the finish, ahead Bober. Trowella on the near side is going to win it for Barry Cash and Chase Levin. Cantlow second again. First Lieutenant, big race third. Love Rory fourth.
Well, Barry Cash won this back in 2013 on Big Shoe, and I think he's done it again here. Trowella has beaten the favourite Cantlow in a tremendous scrap from the turn into the straight. Returned at 10-1, making his second appearance of the week here. Troella, who was second to Enniskillen in the curtain raiser on Tuesday. Barry Cash, one of the elder statesmen of the weighing room. As I was saying before, and he got a nasty spill earlier on in the week, but this, for all that he's a 10-1 shot, Kevin, it's still a big shock that he's turned over a horse like Cantlow with the back class he had. We just joined him there coming around that hairpin at the second last, and Love Rory losing his hind legs, as we often see with horses. That's a really sharp bend, but full marks to the winner. He was guessy 2 out, but he wouldn't lie down.
Can you talk about drama there from about the third last in? There was any number of incidents and a fantastic battle, and fair play to this horse. He's in the form of his life. He won 2 points, and he ran very well behind Enniskillen in the Ladies' Cup here on Tuesday. But the Ladies' Cup is a long way behind this race generally in quality, and he looked to have a big task. I thought he was plenty short enough at 10s in my book now to take on Cantlow, but he stepped up here and produced a really tough effort. Not everything went right for him, but he stuck his head down when it really mattered, and fair play to him. Yeah,
well done to the owner, Michelle Ryan, and trainer Shay Slevin, who's based down in County Wexford. Let's get out to Fitzy.
Well, Barry Cash, he's a man who knows his way around here, but you know, to win this race twice, Barry, takes some doing.
Yeah, it's all fairness to Shay and JJ. They weren't going to run, and Shay said she might as well, because he'll make more money here, even to get placed, and he won't go and find a...
Aidan O'Brien's brother congratulating the winning jockey, Barry Cash. And full marks to all concerned here. Love Rory gave it a good go from the front, but just that incident coming around the bend, Kevin, didn't do him any favours. I wouldn't think that it probably proved costly in the end, but certainly didn't do his chance any good.
No, it wasn't a health now, but the story of his life in these races has been stamina. You know, for me, he's never really convinced at much further beyond 3 miles, and he's run a fine race for a long way, but I just wonder, was it his stamina that caught him out in the end? Just high drama late on, and Tata Supreme had jumped like an absolute cat before running out, so that will be a real sickener for...
Will it be Ruby Walsh? Will it be Nichols Canyon? Let's go back to Gary to get his and Kevin's thoughts.
Thanks, Darryl. Yes, we're able to have a great look at these horses in the parade ring here at Punchestown. A smashing bunch they are too. A reminder, Robbie Power steps in for Jack Kennedy, who's been stood down on jury duty. And Ruby Walsh looking pensive there ahead of the mount on Nichols Canyon. Of course, his wife is one of the part owners of Clondalk Warrior. Paul Townend has the leg up on Clondalk Warrior. So he's kind of got a foot in both camps, if you like. But Kevin, as I say, a marvellous bunch of horses here. We've got plenty of them who are already established. We've got some real up-and-comers as well. We've got a horse in Footpad who was 4th in a champion hurdle and steps up in trip today. I think, to be honest, he's one of the picks of the parade. He looks absolutely superb, Footpad.
He does, to be fair. We might not have seen a better staying hurdle in this in a long time in Ireland. There's great depth here, great quality. And Footpad is the one I like. He's still an 11-1 shot or so. You know, Willie's often right when he makes these sort of calls, and he said to me last week that, you know, we've been thinking for a while that this horse would stay 3 miles, and this might be the place we test it. You know, he has form up to 2 mile, 3.5 furlongs in France on soft ground, and I'd imagine he'll be ridden very quietly to get the trip. But like I say, you know, when Willie makes a call like that, he isn't often wrong on the stamina front with these horses, and he's just walking past us here, and like you say, he looks in fantastic shape.
Yes, and Mick Fitzgerald is out in the parade ring amongst the big crowd here. A real sense of anticipation building, Mick.
Well, the first of these horses that we see is Sutton Place. This is a gorgeous horse. He's a son of Mahler, and I've been really impressed with him. The only just slight concern is he's got a little bit warm, you can see, just by his girth, but I wouldn't be concerned. He doesn't look upset or anything like that. This horse is the apple of Gordon Elliott's eye. He loves this horse, and I think the step up and trip will bring out the best in this horse. If we just come back here, then we'll see another one of these. This is Little Rockefeller. What a star this horse has been for Connections. This will give this horse a real chance to show what he's worth. I think this track will suit as well. The worry is Dickie Johnson will have to be on his A game, because this fella does take a little bit of stoking along. The next one we see is One Track Mind, a horse who's done well for Warren Greatrex in the past. Tried chasing, didn't quite work for him, so he'll be hoping that he can find his best form coming back here. Now we've got to just come back as we span through the packed enclosures here at Punchestown this afternoon. People all trying to get a little look at some of these, and this is, you know what I mean, Harry. He's also won the Albert Bartlett at the Cheltenham Festival last year. He ran a super race on ground which is probably plenty quick enough for him at Cheltenham, behind Nichols Canyon. He looks an absolute picture, and Harry Fry was doing a rain dance last night. Unfortunately for him, we didn't get the rain that he was hoping to get. And here are some of the others here. This is Nichols Canyon, the horse who won that stairs hurdle at the Cheltenham Festival. He's just, against some of these national hunt horses, he's just not that impressive, but he may not be impressive to look at, but he's pretty impressive when he's in full flight. Footpad just behind. This is another horse stepping up in trip for Willie Mullins this afternoon. I think this horse will run well too. The worry for him will be he's quite a keen going sort, and he will need to relax. Shane's Hill on a little bit of a retrieval mission just behind him.
Thanks indeed to Mick. So the jockey's legged up now for the big race of the day, and a potentially pivotal race in the Trainers' Championship battle as well. Gordon Elliott with lots of chances here. Sutton Place looks to be his main one, but of course Willie Mullins with the favourite Nichols Canyon and some strong backup in there as well. We've got to go to Chelmsford very shortly, Kevin, but just final thoughts, Footpad, for you?
I'll stick with Footpad, but Nichols Canyon is a worthy favourite. He has an excellent record going right-handed, and if he's in the same shape as he was at Cheltenham, he'll be very hard beat. Okay, the runners are on the way to post for the big race of the day, the Ladbrokers Champion Stayers Hurdle. We'll be back with you after Chelmsford. Sutton Place, one of the last ones we see. Got to be a big player here. This really exciting prospect who's coming here on a long winning sequence. Mark Walsh already amongst the winners today too. Back shortly.
Stayers Hurdle about to get underway.
Yes, it's almost upon us, Darrell. Lil Rockefeller was adjudged the best turnout. He's an 8-to-1 shot, but Nichols Canyon a very strong favourite at 7-4. Sutton Place on 4s, but you know what I mean, Harry, and money as well for Footpad, and at a bigger price, Shane's Hill. Let's go to Des for the big one.
White flag is raised, and they're off. Shane's Hill from Lil Rockefeller. They race on a few lengths in front of the Plodding Shed, who's in 3rd place. One Track Mind, last year's winner, in 4th, and then a couple of lengths further back to You Know What I Mean, Harry. They're being followed on the outside by Lieutenant Colonel as they settle down on the run now, taking them towards the first flight. And Shane's Hill, Danny Mullins on the inside with Lil Rockefeller. Richard Johnson right up alongside. They're going to rise, disputing the lead. Lil Rockefeller touching down fractionally in front. In 2nd place, Shane's Hill. Then the Plodding Shed on the inside with One Track Mind in 4th. They're being followed by You Know What I Mean, Harry, who's racing just ahead of Lieutenant Colonel, and they're being followed by Sutton Place as they clear that and make their way on now towards flight number 3, with Lil Rockefeller in the lead on the outside of Shane's Hill. The Plodding Shed is 3rd with One Track Mind 4. And they're being followed by Lieutenant Colonel, who's on the outside of You Know What I Mean, Harry. And just after them, as they make the turn, Sutton Place with Nichols Canyon, followed by Snow Falcon, and then comes Footpad, just ahead of Clondor Warrior, and Jury Duty is the back marker. Lil Rockefeller lands in front. In 2nd place is Shane's Hill, a couple of lengths to the Plodding Shed and One Track Mind. You Know What I Mean, Harry next. Nichols Canyon towards the inside of Lieutenant Colonel, followed by Sutton Place, Snow Falcon, Footpad, Clondor Warrior, and the back marker is Jury Duty. Over the flight to take them on the approach to the turn into the straight, and as they begin the good run now to the flight, that'll be the last next time in the Ladbrokes Champion Stayers Hurdle. Lil Rockefeller is the leader from Shane's Hill in 2nd. The Plodding Shed disputes 3rd place with One Track Mind, and they're being followed by You Know What I Mean, Harry. Lieutenant Colonel on the outside, Nichols Canyon right against the rail. They're being followed by Sutton Place with Snow Falcon next ahead of Footpad, and they're followed by Clondor Warrior and Jury Duty. Duty. So on they come to the flight in front of the stands. Last next time, Lil Rockefeller rising in the lead from Shane's Hill in second. They're being followed in third place by One Track Mine. The Plodding Shed is fourth, and then, you know what I mean, Harry, Lieutenant Colonel, Nichols Canyon, followed by Sutton Place. Then comes Snow Falcon and Footpad, and the final pair are Clondor Warrior and Judy's Duty. 10 lengths first to last. They race to the flight that'll take them away from the stands. Complete circuit of the track ahead of them. Lil Rockefeller leads from Shane's Hill and One Track Mine. They're being followed by the Plodding Shed on the inside. You know what I mean, Harry next with Lieutenant Colonel. And they're followed by Sutton Place and Nichols Canyon against the rail. Beginning now to make the turn to race towards the next flight. Lil Rockefeller leads, Shane's Hill in second, One Track Mind is third. In fourth place then comes the Plodding Shed. You know what I mean, Harry is next with Nichols Canyon, being followed by Lieutenant Colonel, Sutton Place, Snow Falcon, and then Footpad, Clondor Warrior and Jury Duty. So making the descent right down the far side. And still little change up front. Lil Rockefeller, Richard Johnson in the lead. From Shane's Hill, Denny Mullins second. One Track Mind and Gavin Sheehan in third, with the Plodding Shed, Davy Russell in fourth. Being followed then by, you know what I mean, Harry and Noel Feely. Then comes the favourite, Nichols Canyon, being followed by Sutton Place with Snow Falcon. Lil Rockefeller over in front of Shane's Hill. One Track Mind is next, as they begin now to make the turn to race right across from the stands with about 9 furlongs left ahead of them. And Lil Rockefeller is the leader. Shane's Hill second, One Track Mind third. In fourth place is the Plodding Shed. You know what I mean, Harry 5 and Nichols Canyon 6. Lieutenant Colonel comes next on the outside, being followed by Sutton Place. Going now to the next flight. Right across the stands, a mile from the finish, the 5 to jump, and it's Lil Rockefeller 3 in front. One Track Mind, last year's winner, moves second. Shane's Hill is third, and you know what I mean, Harry is fourth. The Plodding Shed is 5, and then comes Sutton Place, Nichols Canyon, being followed by Lieutenant Colonel. Footpad beginning to pick up places in mid-division, and then comes Snow Falcon with Jury Duty and Clondor Warrior at the next flight, and it's Lil Rockefeller in front. You know what I mean, Harry has gone second. Shane's Hill, One Track Mine. Sutton Place is after them, followed by Lieutenant Colonel. The Plodding Shed, Nichols Canyon and Footpad as they begin to swing and race now across towards the third last. And Lil Rockefeller pressed by, you know what I mean, Harry, who's moved up alongside. One Track Mind is next. Shane's Hill is followed by Sutton Place, then Nichols Canyon as they come now to jump the third from home. Lil Rockefeller and you know what I mean, Harry, disputing the lead, followed in third place by Nichols Canyon, then One Track Mind. Sutton Place been pulled up. They're on the run now for 2 from home, and it's Lil Rockefeller from you know what I mean, Harry, and then comes Nichols Canyon. Footpad is just in behind them in fourth, rounding the home turn. You know what I mean, Harry goes for home for Noel Feely, quickly followed by Nichols Canyon, and then comes Lil Rockefeller and Footpad just behind them. Off the bend for home. You know what I mean, Harry, with Nichols Canyon chasing him. Footpad is in third place, and then Lil Rockefeller in fourth, racing now towards the final flight. You know what I mean, Harry, pressed by Nichols Canyon. Footpad is in third, and they're clear of Judy at the final flight. The Ladbrokers stayers, you know what I mean, Harry, flies the flight. Nichols Canyon trying hard to get to him. They're inside the last 200 yards, and it's, you know what I mean, Harry and Nichols Canyon. It's going to be a head bobber as they run up towards the finish. It's just, oh, this has gone to the judge. You know what I mean, Harry and Nichols Canyon can't split them. Tremendous finish. Footpad might just have hung on for third, but what a finish to the Ladbrokes stayers between, you know what I mean, Harry, and Nichols Canyon, one for the judge.
What a finish indeed. First impressions were that, you know what I mean, Harry had held Nichols Canyon, but the drama might not be finished yet because they've got pretty close together up the run-in. I think looking at that, Kevin, there's little doubt that, you know what I mean, Harry has held on as they hit the line, but the head-on might reveal a bit more here. We could possibly have a steward's inquiry. The impression we got from the side-on was that they definitely made contact up the run-in. And just on the nod, you know what I mean, Harry has been confirmed first past the post, held on. We unfortunately lost Sutton Place before the second last. He was pulled up and still in with every chance. Hopefully nothing serious amiss there, but Mark Walsh obviously felt something wasn't quite right. But we joined it here, Kevin, and battle is about to be joined. It looked as though Ruby Walsh was confident he had, you know what I mean, Harry covered, and given that, you know what I mean, Harry had been free in the early part of the race, you could fully understand that. But my word, didn't he battle?
Oh, what another fantastic horse race again. And you know, with Nicholas Canyon, the key is to get him to switch off, and Ruby did a great job with that. Down the inside, covered him up, he got the gaps he needed, and I'm sure he felt he arrived there in plenty of time to go by if he was good enough, and he's only just failed. You know what I mean? Harry has finished he's back to himself today. At Cheltenham, he was just a bit weak in the run in. It didn't seem like him. You didn't know if he just wasn't good enough on the day, or the ground was too quick. He's met similar ground here, but he's been much more giving off the bridle, and he's really battled. And just a fantastic horse race, and I'd have to say a fantastic ride on the third footpad. Daryl Jacob gave that horse absolutely every chance to get the trip. He preserved him at every step, and I just don't think he got home. You'll see here he weakens from the last, and it's probably lucky to hold on to third, but a lovely effort from Daryl Jacob there. I thought to give him every chance to get home.
Really positive ride from Noel Feely on, you know what I mean, Harry as well. He was happy to send him on a good way from home, and try as Nicholas Canyon might to get past him, he was unable to do so. And I tell you what, looking at that head on, they have got quite close together near the finish, but if anything, Nicholas Canyon was coming in on, you know what I mean, Harry, so I don't think we're going to have any, we mightn't even have an inquiry, but I don't think we're going to have any change. Let's go out to Mick Fitzgerald, who's with Winning Connections.
Well, Harry Fry, I think I saw you lift your wife, I saw you lift the girl who's leading the horse up. This means so much to you.
Oh, it does, of course it does. And I mean, what a fantastic race it was. I mean, Nicholas Canyon pushed us all the way, and obviously Cheltenham wasn't our day, and but it's great to bounce back in a brilliant race.
Brave.
Like this. Oh, just tough as nails. I mean, he just travelled really well. Noel was brilliant on him, knew just when to press the button, and just kept enough up his sleeve to fight him off. So thrilled.
Still shaking.
Oh yeah, if you don't shake after these, this is what it's all about, these big races, and
but, you know,
it's a special day. Yeah.
When you have horses like this, you know, they take you to places that you want to go to, don't they?
Definitely. I mean, it's just, these are the big days. That's what everyone wants to be involved in. We're very lucky to have a horse like him, and just fantastic to have a big winner here for JP McManus, and obviously all the team from Mickey, who looks after him, rides him, my wife Kira, and all the team back home. So just a brilliant
I see Ruby is here as well. I saw
yeah.
Kira leading her out.
Yeah, Ruby's here. So no, it's great. That's what it's all about. These are special days.
Enjoy it. Very well done. We're going to grab a quick word now with Noel Feely as he comes back in as well, because this means plenty to him, Noel. He certainly is in the twilight of his career, but he is riding as well as ever.
I have to make it up with Ruby Walsh chasing me down.
You just saved a little bit up your sleeve, didn't you?
I just thought we went very slow. Everything, my plan A and plan B, plan C, everything went out the window, because the last thing I wanted to be was in front 2 out, and I just thought we hacked early and I had to go forward, and I did. And look, luckily he's such a tough little horse. I fired him at the last. He was very long for a little horse, but he's got the heart of a lion this fight. Doesn't give up on you.
Well done.
Cheers, thank you.
Yes, redemption for, you know what I mean, Harry, after he proved such a disappointing favourite at the Cheltenham Festival. He's just got home in front of Nicholas Canyon here. The runner-up was closing all the way from the last, Kevin, but that last hurdle was potentially crucial, wasn't it? The winner really flew it. Ruby Walsh didn't have the stride to be able to throw Nicholas Canyon at it. He had to let him go in and pop, and it's a short enough run in here. He had a length to find, and he just didn't have enough time in the end.
No, he didn't, and you know, it was just a great horse, because they both try really hard. Nicholas Canyon's a little tiger of a horse, and this lad, you know, throughout the season when he was beating lesser horses than Nicholas Canyon, he wouldn't do a whole lot when he got to the front. You know, he appealed as being quite an idle horse, but he ended up in front quite early today, and God, he galloped all the way to the line, to be fair to him. Just a fantastic horse race. We got an absolute stormer of a contest in the feature yesterday, and we've had another one today. It's what it's all about. Just a fantastic race.
Really was, and Harry Fry certainly enjoyed it. Why wouldn't he? Tremendous win for all concerned with this horse. Willie Mullins picking up a nice chunk of prize money for second and third places, with Nicholas Canyon and Footpad. Bad race for Gordon Elliott. I think he had the fourth, but Sutton Place clearly something must have gone amiss there. Mark Walsh pulled him up, so we'll have to wait for news. But just actually see Gordon Elliott here walking past us. He looks to have a rather worried expression on his face, and that might be on a couple of levels. Graham Wiley in there congratulating JP McManus and Frank Berry after the success of this prolific winner. What a purchase he's been for the McManus team. That defeat in the Stayers Hurdle, really the only blemish in God knows how long.
9 out of 10 for Harry Fry. Unbelievable.
Went to Cheltenham obviously last year and won the Albert Bartlett Novice Hurdle and just kept it going this season. Was a banker for many at Cheltenham last month, and slightly disappointing on the day for all that he ran a good race, but real positive ride today. Noel Feely took the race by the scruff of the neck, as I say, and had the resolute partner to grind out the victory. Another thrilling finish though. It's been one of the themes of the week here. The Gold Cup yesterday, and now the Champion Stayers Hurdle here on day 3. Okay, we're going to go for a short break. Plenty more still to come.
On terms, he is gradually getting to, you know what I mean, Harry, but you know what I mean, Harry's having none of it. Go to the line, and Harry Fry gets the big one. What a performance, and what an Noel Feely as well. Big day for all concerned. The Ladbrokers Champion Stayers Hurdle. These Grade 1s are not letting us down, are they? At Punchestown this week. There's the presentation, and another winner for JP McManus as well. And we've still got, of course, the Grade 1 Novice Chase to come in about 50 minutes. Big competitive 3-mile handicap hurdle on the way next at Punchestown as the action continues on day 3 of the festival. But when we come back from this break, we'll be at Chelmsford for more live action. That's on the way next. Asking. Now there's the scene across at Punchestown. They're getting set there for a very competitive looking handicap hurdle. Grade B event. 6-1 the field is how they bet here. Philip Hobbs looking to try and take a little bit of the Punchestown prize money here with the favourite, no comment. 7-1 Minella awards for that man Harry Fry, and 8-1. And there's the big team, of course. Jessica Harrington flying with 4 winners, and Robbie Power likewise as well. They team up with Oscar Sam in this 3-mile handicap hurdle. Still about 5 minutes away. Let's head back to Punchestown, rejoin Gary and Kevin.
Thanks, Darryl. Yes, Rachel Blackmore stepping in for Jack Kennedy on board Billy's Hope here, one of the Harrington contingent. And Billy's Hope certainly a live chance in this race as well for the champion conditional elect, following a good second at Fairyhouse last time. Mark Walsh there in the saddle on board number 11, Oathkeeper. Just been making some inquiries about Sutton Place. Hope that it's nothing too serious. I think Mark Walsh just felt something not quite right and pulled him up, but the early indications are that, touch wood, he is going to be okay, but we'll obviously try and get some confirmation on that before we go off air this evening. But Minella Awards for the informed team, Harry Fry and Noel Feely, is now atop the market for this Shamrock Enterprises handicap at 6 from 8, no comment. 13-2 Oscar Sam, another of the Jesse Harrington team, at 8 with Kate Appleby Shoes. Ruby Walsh looking for a change of luck there. Billy's Hope 11-1 with Showham Silver, 14-1 bar. Those fiercely competitive stuff here, Kevin, and a strong overseas challenge, including the top 2 in the betting here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the English horses get on. Minella Awards, I suppose, is the one to start with. He made a really impressive handicap debut, you'd have to say, at Sandown over 2.5. It was a valuable race. He lacked experience, and he didn't look to have much prospects turning out of the back straight. He was under heavy pressure, but he picked up very well when he straightened up for home, suggesting that the step up to 3 miles here will be just what he wants. And he only went up £6 for that, which seems very fair, and he must have a big chance.
On the way to post, then let's check in with Fitzy once more.
Yeah, thanks, Gary. I've just actually been speaking to them, and the news came through about Sutton Place. They said that he is slightly lame. He came back in a Blue Cross ambulance just to get him back to the stable yard, but he, you know, after being assessed, he is slightly lame, but it's not as bad as first thought. So that is good news on Sutton Place. And I just bumped into Sarah Bradstock as she was going back to the stable yard, and I asked her how Conigry was. Of course, he nearly lifted a roof off this place yesterday, that titanic duel that they had in that Coral Gold Cup yesterday at Punchestown. And she said he's absolutely A1. When we spoke to Mark Bradstock after the race, that was his big concern. How is the horse going to be today? Well, the news is good. He's fit and firing on all cylinders this morning. None the worse for his exertions. A little bit weary. I think it's bloodied but unbowed.
Yes, he's not the only one feeling a little bit weary, Mick. 3 days into the Punchestown Festival. I'm sure it's been a tough week for some, but we're still going strong here, and 2 more to come, obviously tomorrow and Saturday. And once again, a tricky puzzle for punters to solve here. And no great surprise, Kevin, that there is money for the Harrington horses again. Both Oscar Sam and Billy's Hope have attracted support. Rachel Blackmore taking 3 of Billy's Hope. A great jockey booking to be able to make when your original choice is not available, considering it's such a big field.
Absolutely. And you know, I really like Oscar Sam. He's probably my best one of the day, to be honest. He's a full brother to our Duke. He's really progressive, and he joined Jesse there about 18 months ago, and he off a mark of 96. He's up to 141 now, and the race he was third in last time has been a real key piece of form. It was the Pertemps qualifier at Punchestown, one of Isle of Hope and Dreams, and presenting Percy was back in fourth. Sutton Manor, who runs here, was second. He's now 18 pounds higher. You know, he's coming there fresh. He didn't run in the final, which he did last year, and disappointed, so he's much fresher than all of these. Look, we know Jessica Harrington's horses are in supreme form. Robbie Power is riding as well as he ever has, and this fella I think will need a career best effort, but I think he can improve a bit more and should be given a no-nonsense ride, and yeah, be really hopeful he'll be involved in the finish.
So you can see there down at the start, just had to know here, it is really open, this 7-1 joints now. No comment on Manella Awards. Oscar Sam, Kate Appleby shoes at 8. She's an interesting one. Ruby Walsh looking for a change of look. Mare who's shown most of her best form on softer ground, but presumably Connections field conditions will be fine for her today. It's not going to be too much longer then. Let's go for commentary on the Shamrock Handicap.
The white flag is raised. They're off as they leave the stairs hurdle start in the Shamrock Enterprises Handicap hurdle. A Little Luck is one of the early leaders with Skip the Cuddles, and on their outside is Screaming Rose as they race down towards the first flight, and prominent on the inside is Hunter's Call, being followed by Sure Reef and Abbreviate, the white cap of Sutton Manor. Over the first of the 13 flights, and there's a number of casualties there at that first flight. Oscar Sam was brought down by, as they raced towards the second flight, Bob Mahler, and Rathpatrick was another one to go as they continue on now to the far point of the track, heading across to the couple of flights before the straight. I can see Jody McGarvey is to his feet as Our Little Luck is the leader from Abbreviate, and these are being followed across to flight number 3. Hunter's Call on the inside with the Barrowman and Sutton Manor. Then Skip the Cuddles with on the inside Billy's Hope and Sure Reef, followed by No Comment, and then comes Gert Dean and the Grey Arm Man Zebo. On they come to the fourth flight before the straight, and the leader is Our Little Luck and Noel McParlin, followed by Abbreviate, the Stripes of Mikey Hamill, and then Hunter's Call and Mark Enright third on the rail. The Barrowman next with Sutton Manor and Skip the Cuddles, tracked into the straight by Billy's Hope with Sure Reef, No Comment and Woods Well. Gert Dean is next, and they swing in now for the flight in the straight. Kate Appleby's shoes have been pulled up. Straightening now for the fifth flight, which will be the last one next time. Our Little Luck is the leader from Abbreviate and the Noseband. Hunter's Call next with the Barrowman, the Red Cap. Skip the Cuddles is followed by Sutton Manor and Billy's Hope. Sure Reef next with Woods Well. And the White Hat of No Comment, Gert Dean and our man Zebo. Being followed up in front of us by You Never Called the Top Weight with Captain of the Fleet. On the near side of Oathkeeper with the star on the cap, and further back to Manila Awards with Show 'em Silver, Conduct Yourself. Screaming Rose has dropped right back, and then Okatox and Art of Security is the back marker. A circuit to go and 8 flights to jump as they climb uphill now to number 6. Our Little Luck is joined by the Barrowman, followed by Abbreviate and Hunter's Call. Skip the Cuddles, and alongside is Sutton Manor. Being followed to the top of the course, Billy's Hope on the inside. So they turn away to the next flight, just outside the halfway point. In the lead is Our Little Luck, followed by the Barrowman and Hunter's Call. Abbreviate is fourth. Skip the Cuddles on the inside of Sutton Manor. Billy's Hope, Sure Reef and No Comment with Gert Dean and our man Zebo. Oathkeeper is followed then on the descent to the halfway stage by Manila Wards. So making the downhill run as they reach now the halfway point in this 3-miler, the Shamrock Enterprises Handicap Hurdle. And it's Our Little Luck and the Barrowman racing along together, tracked by Hunter's Call. And then comes Abbreviate. After Abbreviate is Skip the Cuddles, the red and white jacket, with Sutton Manor and Billy's Hope. No Comment is next, with Sure Reef and Gert Dean, our man Zebo. Woods Well on the outside of Oathkeeper, and then Manila Awards, who's 3/4 of the way back, as they race now towards the 9 furlong point with 5 left to jump. Our Little Luck continues to just lead the Barrowman as they turn right-handed to go into the back straight with Hunter's Call in third. Sutton Manor is fourth and Abbreviate is fifth. Skip the Cuddles is followed by Billy's Hope, Sure Reef and No Comment as they race across from the stands now, and they're reaching the final mile and the first of 2 flights down the back. Our Little Luck leads half a length the Barrowman, followed by Sutton Manor, who joins Hunter's Call, then Abbreviate. 3 lengths to Skip the Cuddles with Sure Reef, Billy's Hope, No Comment, Gert Dean, Woods Well, our man Zebo. After them is Oathkeeper, racing on now towards the final 6 furlongs, and the last flight in the back straight, which is 4 from the finish. And it's Our Little Luck on the inside, the pale pink, with Hunter's Call, and they're followed by Sutton Manor with Skip the Cuddles on the inside. Dropping out is the Barrowman, then Abbreviate, who's pushed along. Billy's Hope hasn't left the rail throughout, and then No Comment, who's starting to close. And then comes Sure Reef as they turn across now to the 4 furlong point with 3 left to jump. In the lead is still Our Little Luck, followed by Hunter's Call and Sutton Manor. Skip the Cuddles is next with No Comment closing steadily. Woods Well has made a bit of headway on the outside as they take off here and make the run to the second last flight. It's Our Little Luck from Hunter's Call, 1 from the rail. Then comes Sutton Manor, followed by No Comment with Skip the Cuddles and Billy's Hope. Sure Reef, Manila Awards is getting into contention, followed then by Woods Well. They're homeward bound, a good run to the final flight off the bend. Hunter's Call Call hits the front, heads on the inside, Add Little Luck, Sutton Manor, No Comment is making ground round them. Then Billy's Hope, Manila Wards is joining in. Off the home turn, they've one flight to jump now. Hunter's Call on the rail, with in the centre the English challengers making good ground. Manila Wards on the near side of No Comment, and then Sutton Manor break to Shoe Reef and Woods Well as they race down to the final flight. Manila Wards just leads now from No Comment. They're out in front of the remainder at the final flight, and it's Manila Wards in the lead inside the final 150 yards. Has got the better of No Comment. They're clear from Screaming Rose from out of the clouds, running up towards the line now. It's Manila Wards from No Comment. It's No Feely and Harry Fry's day 3. Manila Wards has won the 3-mile handicap from No Comment, Screaming Rose, Show 'em Silver, and then Sutton Manor.
So Manila Wards has won. What a day for Noel Feely and Harry Fry. They double up here, and this time it's JP McManus who they've beaten into second with No Comment. That horse once again going close in a big handicap, but having to settle for the runner-up berth as he did at Aintree. Manila Wards, who was well back beforehand, winning here in the colours of Masterson Holdings Limited. They had that good win with Fletcher's Flyer at last year's festival. Made his move around the home turn. Again, a rough race. There was drama early on when Oscar Sam came down and Rath Patrick was brought down, and also exiting at that flight was Gavin Sheehan's meant Bob Mahler. But turning into the straight here, Kevin, the eventual winner just creeping into shot there. Much different ride from Noel Feely this time, but equally as effective.
Yeah, I think the trip was a big help, definitely. He was stepping up the 3 miles. He was able to travel a little bit better, and given how well he'd come home when he won at Sandown, that he was this close turning in would have given anyone that backed him great hope. And he's finished off very well there and beaten off the other English challenger. A great race for the English handicappers here, I think.
Yeah, just like yesterday, the 1-2-3 in the handicap chase yesterday, 1-2 in the big handicap hurdle here, 7-1 joint favourite. I think the runner-up was joint favourite as well. Yeah,
absolutely. And you know, I think more English handicappers should come over and have a go here, because there's a perception there that they're not well treated when they come over here. But I don't think it's nearly as bad as that.
Okay, let's get out to Mick.
Well, Noel Feely, I think he's counting his blessings. It all worked out nicely for you, didn't it?
Yeah, I had a lovely spin around. I was very lucky that the first one went down right in front of me and just missed it. And after that, I was cantering everywhere. So it was a great performance. And I said it about, you know, me and Harry, but what a trainer Harry Fry is producing on the big day. Unbelievable.
He's not afraid to pot hunt to start with, though, and build a horse up to the big day.
He kept telling me all winter, this fella was beaten by the second of Plumpton early in the year. And he kept saying to me, he's not right, he's not right. I need to wait till the spring with him. I think the warm weather will bring him good. And how right he's been proved. So it's great.
Just an unbelievable run for you as well, though.
It's fantastic. To come to the Punchestown Festival and ride a winner, like, it's great. Riding winners at all the festivals, but it's great to come home and ride a winner, so I enjoyed that.
Well done.
Thank you. Cheers.
Well, they elected to miss Aintree and, of course, miss Cheltenham as well. And here's the rewards for Harry Fly and the Masterson Holdings Limited owners of Manila Award here. Quite amazing, isn't it? Because No Comment is rallied again on the run-in. 7-1 joint favourites and a 1-2 for the British Raiders, as you were hearing from Gary. After yesterday's 1-2-3, when Sizing Granite led them home in the Guinness handicap for the British Raiders. And almost doing to Ireland what Ireland did to the home contingent at the Cheltenham Festival, I guess. 7-1 each of 2. Screaming Rose 25-1 was third for Willie Mullins. So a little bit more prize money. The 5,
which has Vautour's name above it, and this is Great Fields. Willie's just taking him out here. He's by Great Pretender, and you know, he's been an amazing horse. Like, if you just look at this horse, we're just going to walk with him a little bit, and we'll just, you know, he just got a little bit warm, but I wouldn't be in the slightest bit concerned about this. He's quite a free-going horse, this, and Jody McGarvey's built up a really good relationship with this horse, and you know, he just kind of lets him go, and it was amazing. I was at Leopardstown when this horse won, and he nearly fell. He nearly got rid of Jody on that occasion because he was almost going too fast to jump it. That'll tell you the sort of ability he has, and he's just got so much natural spring. But sometimes if you meet a fence wrong on a horse like that, they almost panic and they just freeze. And that would be the only concern you'd have with a lad like this, because, you know, occasionally they can just have a mental block. That would be the concern. So let's hope we have none of that, because, you know, there's no doubt in this horse's talent. And, you know, occasionally you get these horses, they're almost freaks. And I think this horse is a little bit that way. And Willie has a great knack with horses like this. He just kind of lets them get on with it. And I think that'll be the case again this afternoon. And they will be going some lick down over the first few of that, I have no doubt. And then you can see Willie, he's got a few in this. He's just supervising proceedings. David Casey and Harold Kirk are the ones who are actually putting the tack on. Willie is just keeping his eye on it. And then just underneath in the other box, in the Corvega stable, you'll see a man in a blue hat. That is a man called Pierre Boulard, who is one of the best judges around. He has been involved in buying quite a lot of these horses for Willie Mullins with Harold Kirk, and what a team they are. They have bought some real stars, and you know, that it's like any big team, you need a really good scouting system, and they, as form will tell you over the past few years, have the bet.
Where will the prize be heading for the Rynair Novice Chase? Well, if the market is right, Greatfield will make it 4 on the spin. He has had issues with his jumping, though. 11-10 favourite here for Willie Mullins. 6-1 Ball Dart for Gordon Elliott alongside Ballygasheen. 7's Ordinary World. 8-1 is Townsend, and 16's Bar. They go without the top one of Toy Phil. 8 will do battle in the Rynair Novice Chase. That's on the way. 6:40 race at Punchestown. Here's Gary.
Yes, jockey's just being legged up for our last grade one of the day. It's the Rynair Gold Cup. And Great Field, the favourite, actually just being adjudged the best turnout. He has got quite revved up in the preliminaries here, sweating up a little bit, but he is that sort of horse, lives very much on his nerves, Great Field, and races in a similar sort of vein. So not necessarily anything to get too perturbed about. He's a strong 11-10 market leader here, with Boldark and Ballygasheen next in at 6-1. But big moment here for Johnny McGarvey, Kevin, and he might have feared that he was going to miss the ride when he hit the deck from Rathpatrick in that early incident in the last race, but happily he was able to walk away and even have a joke about it after.
Walk away laughing. Yeah, we saw that shot. Himself and Robbie Power just probably had a near-death experience after falling in a big field like that, and the two of them can get up and walk away laughing. Just a different breed of human being, these jump jockeys, aren't they?
Just having a look at Ordinary World with Davy Russell on board, and his trainer Henry de Bromhead is now with Mick in the parade room.
He certainly is, and just looking at him, Henry, he's a gorgeous horse.
Yeah, he's gorgeous, isn't he? Yeah, really nice, and he's had a really good year, you know, 3rd in the Arkle, 2nd in the Grade 1 at Christmas at Leopardstown. You know, it'd be lovely to see him get up and get home in front in one. Yeah, and
it was very interesting watching him walk back in. You know, Davy walked past us where we were positioned at Cheltenham, you know, and I couldn't help but overhear him saying this is a proper horse for the future as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, look, a big scopy horse, and you know, he's going to keep improving, but he's done very little wrong so far, and we'll see how we go. Yeah,
but the form is in the book, isn't it? Like the horse that finished just in front of him, Cloudy Dream, has come out and won at Aintree and won at Ayr as well.
Absolutely, yeah, you know, and we all know about Altior, so yeah, like you say, the form is there, but I mean, Greatfield has been very impressive in his last few runs, and you know, he's a hard horse to lay up with, so we'll just see how it all unfolds.
Very best of luck.
Thank you.
Cheers, Henry.
Yes, he is a fine horse, Ordinary World, and he's done well this season over fences, but Henry de Bromhead, you heard him say there that this fella, Greatfield, has really been very impressive, and good to see, Kevin, for his no doubt legion of supporters, that he's nice and relaxed now. He's on his way to post. It's only a short canter down to the start here for the 2 mile races at Punchestown. They actually start just in front of the last fence, but having just maybe not done himself any favours in the parade ring. He seems to just be relaxing that bit more now on his way down to the start, but whether it will last too long when the tape flies back, we shall see.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it makes this race very tricky, because look, he's got the most talent of any of these horses. I think you can say that with a fair degree of certainty, but you just don't know if he's going to go the right way or if he's going to do the wrong thing in the race. You'd imagine, from a betting perspective, you'd imagine there'll be legions of people out there looking to get involved in other horses each way, because, you know, this horse could absolutely bolt up or he could end up on the deck. You know, so and the shape of the race, 8 runners, it makes it attractive from an each way perspective, and I'd be leaning that way as well. I think we're both in the same boat here, Gary. We both like the outsider of the whole lot, Powers Bomb, and he, talking about jumping, he's not exactly one to that is brilliant in that regard either. He probably could have won 2 more races than he has over fences thus far, but for either falling or making a bad mistake. I thought he ran a smashing race in the Novice Handicap chase at the Cheltenham Festival. He finished 4th that day, and I'd say the trip maybe just stretched him a little bit. That was 2.5, a stiff 2.5. He's dropping back to a sharper 2 miles here, and I'd say that could very much help him. It all comes down to his jumping again, but look, at least we're getting 20 to 1 about him, whereas anyone that wants to take a chance on Great Fields jumping has to take even money for their trouble. He's got a fair bit to find in the figures, Powers Bomb, but I'd say we haven't seen the best of him yet, and if things went right for him, he'd be capable of running the big race, I think.
Yeah, I think we can probably expect a similar sort of quiet ride on Powers Bomb, maybe try and pick up some pieces later on if he's still in contention at that stage. Even money to field now, as Kevin was saying, even money great field from 11 to 10 here on track. Bulldog second favourite at 6 to 1, being a wonderful servant to his connections this season, earned a huge As You Were. Bailey Cloud is just a little bit detached from the main body of the field there at the moment. And just coming in now as well is Ballyosheen in the second colours of JP McManus. This looks as though it might be a start, though. Here we go for the Rynair. Just a little bit of concern here about Ballyosheen, and I think that's the reason we've had the delay. He was just being trotted up there by Mark Walsh for the vet, but it looks as though he's got the all clear now. Bailey Cloud is acting the goat a bit at the back. Let's hope he jumps off with him.
2 miles, they're off. Coming up to past the stands, and over on the far side it's Great Field and Ordinary World, who stride on from the sponsors runner Baldark, in between Listen Dear and Powers Bomb, tracked to the first of 11 fences by Townsend. Then comes Ballyosheen, and Bailey Cloud is the back marker. Racing uphill to the first fence, and Great Field has moved on now from Ordinary World and Powers Bomb as they jump the first fence. After Powers Bomb is Townsend with stable companion Listen Dear, as they turn away now to the second fence, and Great Field has opened up a 5-length lead over Ordinary World, the striped jacket on the inside of Powers Bomb, followed to fence number 2 by Townsend, Listen Dear, Baldark, and then Ballyosheen and Bailey Cloud, all standing after the first 2 fences. They make the downhill run to numbers 3 and 4, the first of which is the open ditch. And out in front it's Great Field and Jody McGarvey, out to keep up their 100% strike rate over fences. Bowling along out in front of Powers Bomb, Mikey Fogarty on the outside of Ordinary World and Davy Russell, followed to fence number 3 by Townsend and Ruby Walsh, as they head on now quickly to the next, which is the 4th, and it's Great Field out in front of Powers Bomb, Ordinary World and Townsend. Ballyosheen has picked up ground on the outside, followed by Listen Dear, Baldark, and Bailey Cloud remains the back marker. Great Field is stringing them out now. making their way into the back straight to the halfway stage, and the first of 3 fences down the back. 7 more left to jump, and it's Great Field, the leader, from a closing Powers Bomb, who moves to be within a couple of lengths away. And then a break of 3 lengths to Ordinary World, who's followed by an improving Ballyo'Sheen with the star in the cap. Townsend and Listen Dear come next, and they're out in front of Baldark and Bailey Cloud. Heading now towards the 7 furlong point and the next fence, which is 6 from the finish, and the Rynair Novice, and it's Great Field, who's back about 7 or 8 in front from Powers Bomb, Ballyo'Sheen. Ordinary World, Townsend, followed by Listen Dear. A break then to Baldark, who's way out in front of Bailey Cloud. The last ditch coming up, 5 from the finish, Great Field, Jody McGarvey, followed by Powers Bomb, and down there at that fence, Townsend. Coming now towards the 5 furlong point, Ruby watches quickly to his feet as Great Field continues to cut out the gallop. Coming across to the 2 fences before the straight, for the jump, is chased by Powers Bomb, who's once again closed up between fences. Ordinary World is followed by Ballyo'Sheen, and then Listen Dear. Baldark and Bailey Cloud, 4 left to jump, Great Field the leader. Under Jody McGarvey, Powers Bomb, Mikey Fogarty second, then Ballyo'Sheen, Mark Walsh in a sharing 3rd spot with Ordinary World and Davy Russell, as Great Field is safely over and extends his lead again. Racing now to the 3rd last fence, it's Great Field the leader from Powers Bomb. Ballyo'Sheen on the outside of Ordinary World, and these are being followed by Listen Dear, and Baldark is trying to make a bit of ground, but it's Great Field away from the 3rd last fence and beginning the run to the home turn. It's Great Field followed by Ballyo'Sheen, Powers Bomb, Ordinary World. Listen Dear is next, pushed along as Baldark. Off the turn with 2 fences to jump. The leader is Great Field from Ballyo'Sheen on the near side of Ordinary World. Powers Bomb has dropped back, then Baldark right over on the near side. Alone is Listen Dear at the 2nd last. Great Field with Ordinary World trying to mount a challenge. They race down to the final fence in the Rynair Novice, and it's Great Field the leader from Ordinary World, and then Baldark. Final fence now. Great Field at the last. He hasn't put a foot wrong today, and on the run up towards the finish, it's Great Field all the way in the Rynair Novice, and pulls a grade 1 back for Willie Mullins, as Great Field is an impressive winner from Ordinary World. Baldark, Listen Dear, Powers Bomb the final finisher. Lost at the final fence, Ballyo'Sheen, who's not yet up, but okay is Mark Walsh.
Huge day for Johnny McGarvey, his breakthrough grade 1 winner here. Congratulations there from Davy Russell and Paul Townend. And well, once Ballyo'Sheen gets to his feet, it'll crown a great day for JP McManus. Let's hope that he is okay after a nasty spill at the final fence there. But both grade 1 races fall to the green and gold hoops, and Jody McGarvey, who's built up such a great rapport with this horse, Kevin, had some great leaps out of him today. There was one kind of sketchy jump early on in the race, but he was seeing strides from a long way off, was able to give him a breather just off the home bend as well. But a thoroughly likeable performance from the best horse in the race.
And imagine what a thrill it must be to ride a horse like him, because he's heart and mouth, but God, he's good when he's very good.
Okay, let's get out to Mick with the winning jockey.
Well, I'll tell you what, you know, this horse is, you know, he is a speed freak. And when Jody McGarvey turns him round, you'll see, you know, how well Jody's done on him. Just look how far back that tack has gone. Look at his girth, it's almost gone up behind him. So not only is he a speed machine, he's also quite an awkward one to sit on. Well done, your tack's almost gone off.
Saddle was going to the 2nd last. Like he can get in and give a few a rub, and he rubbed one a bit too hard and brought the girth with him, and I was just hoping that it would stay intact till I got over the last. So it was a sigh of relief, to say the least, when we got away safely from the back of the last. But what a horse, what an engine.
What a feeling, what a buzz for you.
Oh, nothing beats it, nothing beats it. The speed it was